Hello. Hope you're doing well. If you are a subscriber, thank you for your love and for your support. And thank you for watching this video. If you are new to this channel, welcome. Feel free to click the like button. Feel free to subscribe. And I hope you gain something from the information that I'm about to share in this video. I'd like to put out a disclaimer that I'm not here to be a victim. That was me before I spiritually woke up. I was a perpetual victim. And I am no longer that person. Having said that, I do need to go into some personal details. I was just discharged from the hospital a couple of days ago. I was there for about 3 days. And it was scary. It was a scary event. I'm not going to lie to you. But something interesting happened during my hospital admission, and it began with my visit to the emergency room. I live in Canada. The healthcare system here is a socialist healthcare system. I'm really going to try hard not to go into politics. But we have a socialist healthcare system that was horrendous before the pandemic hit. And it really has crumbled after the pandemic. It's quite bad right now. And I am a person who comes from a third world country. I'm originally from Saudi Arabia. And I can, with honesty, state that the healthcare system right now, at least in the province that I am in, is worse than the public healthcare system in the third world country that I come from. Putting that aside, after the agony of waiting in ER for 8 hours in severe pain, severe distressing pain that would send chills down my spine, I thought I was dying. I'm not kidding you. And the lack of care and the lack of attention and the lack of compassion and the lack of humanity and the soulless behavior of mainly the frontline care workers in that hospital system, and the ideological obsession with certain things, I'm really trying not to go into politics, helped me come out of this experience with a very, very interesting level of awareness and a very, very interesting perspective on things. Even though what I'm saying might sound negative, poor, and bad, and that I am not grateful, I'm actually not those things at all, and that's not why I'm stating any of this. Part of me wants still to write a very non-emotional, non-biased, more from an observational point of view article comparing the two systems that I experienced in the past few days during this health scare that I went through. Because I started in the ER and I ended in the women's or the gynecological aspect or side of the healthcare system. And there are very stark differences between those two. Why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because I'm grateful to be alive. And I have come out of this experience, which is harrowing. A lot of people would come out of this traumatized, feeling devastated, probably living in this story and reliving it for many months, if not years to come, and sharing it in a negative way. But for me, it has done something. It has shifted my perspective. It has deepened my level of awareness, or I guess expanded my level of awareness. Nothing is capable of shifting your perspective, the way you view things, the way you react to things, the way you understand things that are happening around you or to you, as much as expanding your level of awareness. For someone like me, awareness and its expansion happened involuntarily. I went through something called a spontaneous Kundalini awakening during COVID. But I do believe that expanding your level of awareness is something that you can work on voluntarily and do and accomplish if you set your intention to. If you're not happy with your life, if you perceive things to be constantly happening to you, if you see yourself as a victim and you are living in despair, in anger, in negativity, shifting, making that decision to shift your perspective on things, how you view things, how you react to things, approaching things from a different perspective, doing things differently is a decision that you can make and follow up on with action. I'm telling you this because a lot of people are currently doing this. What I'm trying to say is that the wider you allow your awareness to expand, the less reactive you will find yourself to life events, to people, to anything that is happening to you or around you, because you would have shifted the perspective or the lens or the filter that you were using before to view something into another filter. Most of us have been programmed deeply with beliefs, with ways of being, to think that there is no other way but this one way. The ways of being that many humans have existed in on this planet forever and a day are very limited, are very biased, and very self-centered. In many ways, this is exactly what we are going through right now as a human species on this planet, as we move through this evolutionary phase of consciousness expansion or expansion of awareness. Some of us are quite on the ascension path, actually, and it might even be moving a bit too quick for some of us, whereas others have absolutely no clue what is happening. No blame on them, but they are just not there yet. Possibly because of limited points of view, because of their distorted focus on events, on beliefs, and ways of interpreting life that they have been taught. Possibly because of their control by systems, be it internal systems in the form of beliefs, be it external systems in the form of the news, the media, religion, politics. It doesn't matter. These systems, these beliefs keep us very limited in our awareness, and as such keep us stuck in a state of perpetual suffering that we are unaware of and that we blame outside forces for, when truly we are in control of it. These beliefs, these systems that a lot of people remain tuned into and quite trusting of, actually, keep them in not only a perpetual state of suffering, but keeps them playing in loops And I was a person who was playing in loops for a good chunk of my life. But when you play in these loops that you were born into believing, you are essentially suffering. You are in a constant state of suffering. You just don't know it. You are playing in closed loops of barely existing, probably I would say surviving. When I started off at the hospital, I went to ER. I was neglected there. I was treated quite poorly. I was laying on the floor at one point. We are forced to wear a mask regardless what is your condition. The front care staff treat you truly as a number, maybe even an object, I would say. And I can't tell you that I was really upset. In the beginning, I might have entered a minor state of suffering because I really was in pain and I needed some medical attention. And it seemed like as long as I was breathing, no one cared about anything else that I was going through. And after 8 hours of waiting and going finally into getting some sort of medical care by a physician, quality of care improved slightly. I was still treated very poorly as an object. I was shuffled around from room to room. At some point, a nurse came in and I was half asleep, half awake. My first 2 nights were literally sitting on a chair, sleeping in the ER, supposedly admitted. And a nurse came in and turned on the light in the room and started kicking the chair that I was on. And I was like half asleep and I was in a lot of pain. I had like abdominal pain. And then she started kicking the other side of the chair and then she moved the chair that I was on because I was obstructing her path from moving in the room. That's what I was exposed to. That's the level of unconscious behavior that I was exposed to. And though I was shocked, I kind of understood, believe it or not. Though she did cause me pain, though she did treat me poorly, and this is just one example of many examples, I'm not going to go through them all, but my awareness expanded. I saw what I was going through as contrast. I understood that I was experiencing what I was experiencing because I needed to see the bad in order to appreciate the good. The good eventually came after I had a dozen tests done on me and I was moved over to the women's hospital. An ambulance couldn't move me because it would have taken hours, so I got someone to come pick me up and take me to admit my own self, because the ambulance was busy, to the women's hospital. But the women's hospital is privately funded. And as soon as you walk in, it's like walking into a 5-star hotel, coming out of, I don't know, a 1-star hotel, which is where I was in the ER and the way what I was subjected to. The nurses were absolutely lovely. Yes, they were forced to cover their face, but the atmosphere was different. There was compassion. There was care. Do you want to eat? Do you want to drink? How can I help you? Do you want a warm blanket? All these extra things that make healthcare, that made healthcare, the soul element, the compassion, the empathy, the understanding, the connection to another human being was here, but it wasn't here. And the previous me would have griped endlessly about this and wrote reviews and did this. But I actually now have come out of this to see a lot better because my level of awareness expanded because of what I saw, because of the awful treatment that I received here. I was able to appreciate the good treatment that I received here and focus on this more and know what needs improvement here. I guess what I'm trying to say is that with enough expansion of awareness, we would come to understand that no one truly is our enemy, and that no negative or bad life events truly happen to us. Rather, we begin to understand that we are here to experience contrast. And when we see it as contrast, we will learn that none of this is personal against us, but rather for us to observe and learn and evolve and grow through in order to improve. The bad people that we learned growing up are out there, and that we should hate and we should judge and we should stay away from, and that we should fight against and do this and that and focus on and exert all our energy in putting hatred and negativity towards them, are actually not bad people at all, but rather they are unconscious people that require your understanding and, yes, your compassion, because they are living their life. Actually, they're barely existing in life, and they're operating out of a severe state of unconsciousness, and thus they are suffering. I guess if you've been blessed with expanded awareness or with consciousness, then you would learn that it's kind of our duty to hold space for those who are operating at a level of lower consciousness than us, or maybe unconscious patterns. Rather than judge, hate, project at them, and fight with them, we learn that we are here to hold space for them and to give them compassion, as well as understanding, without losing our own integrity, without sacrificing our own sense of decency. The more conscious you become, the more you begin to see this world, its occupants, the events that are occurring through the eyes of consciousness, through the eyes of higher intelligence. Higher intelligence, divine intelligence, does not wish, does not want those who are not conscious to be punished, nor hated, nor judged, nor shamed. That is not why consciousness operates through us. When someone does something that is perceived to be bad by you, to you, understand that they are essentially doing bad to themselves. This bad, this negative that they have perpetuated is furthering them down a path that is not for their highest good, that will not lead them to the highest potential that they could have in this life. You are here to observe, protect yourself, distance yourself without engaging in conflict, without perpetuating the unconsciousness. We are here to raise awareness. We are here to function as consciousness. That's it. That's what I wanted to talk about. My hospital visit, though it started off weird and negative, has resulted in me gaining a depth and a level of awareness perception that I did not have before I experienced what I experienced. And it doesn't matter what the diagnosis was the doctors did, and what am I going to do down the road. None of that matters. I am grateful for the awareness that I have gained, for the shift in the perspective and in the lens that was given to me through this experience. And I am grateful for my health, and I am grateful for having even the crumbling healthcare system that we do have. I'm grateful for it because it eventually got me the care that I needed and that I felt that I deserved. And it also showed me the defects that need patching up, that need focus and care, and how we can improve what we currently have. And that's all we can do. That's all we can do. Do I currently have the power to go in and alter the healthcare system? I do not. But I'm sitting here in front of you doing this video in hopes to initiate positive change. Part 2 of this video will be found in my Patreon. Merry Christmas and happy holidays.